Hi students, in this class we study about the general principles of energy management and energy management planning. So in the previous class, I think you have a brief idea about the general principles of energy management and what is the definition of energy management. So we will just look into this in detail in these classes and see, we just go through the previous year's university questions once again. So what are the previous year's university questions asked? So define energy management. Explain the various steps involved in energy management planning. Define energy management. What are the objectives of energy management? Third one, enumerate the peak demand control methodologies used in energy management planning. Next is they list down the general principles of energy management. And fifth one, explain the types of industrial loads, draw the torque and power versus speed characteristics of each type of loads. And sixth question, define energy management, discuss the significance of electrical load management. And seventh one, explain various peak demand control methodologies. And eighth one, mention the significance of optimal load scheduling. See here, in this out of 8 questions, the most severely asked question is define energy management and what are different types of energy management objectives and step involved. So we just look into that in detail. What is energy management? So energy management is the process of monitoring, controlling and conserving energy in a building or organization with the goal to produce goods and provide service with least cost and least environment. See, the energy management you can do in your home also. How means that is the conserving the energy. So with so making that the you will be getting the KSCB bill 2 months. For 2 months you will be getting an bill from you have to pay. Say you are paying 900 rupees and you are consuming 2 kilowatt hour and 2 kilowatt hour per day. And so the total unit which you consumed for 2 months, say it is of 400 units, and now you have paying 900 rupees as a payment to the KCB. So now you for the next month you will make some modifications. So you just replace incandescent lamp with LED lamp and you replace the fan with your BLDC fans and you just try to utilize more daylights and also you can implement that the refrigerators should be worked whenever it requires. So 24 hours refrigerator work and ആവശ്യമുള്ള സമയത്ത് മാത്രം refrigerator work ചെയ്യുക. So and also the washing machines should be worked washing machines should be kept on for once in a week or twice in a week, like that. So after getting some methodologies, so you after having some certain planning and implementing that type of activities, so after 2 months you can see that your energy bill will be drastically reduced to the 600 to 700 rupees. So that is you are consuming, but you have reduced your energy bill. Okay, so like this for a particular consumption will be occurring. So what are the work to be done in your home is being occurring, but your electricity bill will be reduced. So like that it will be economically benefiting you without the stopping the process. Like this only in the case of industries. So in the industries you need to produce certain goods. For textile industries you need to produce certain amount of cotton, silk materials, or in the case of paper industries you need to print for newsprint paper or paper industries you need to make 50,000 papers per day. So like that 50,000 papers per day or 50,000 papers per month should be done. Without hindering that one, how can you save the electricity bill? How can you conserve the energy? So this is what we call as energy management. അതായത് the least cost and least environmental effect, how can you conserve the energy and you can produce the same goods. By conserving the energy, how can you produce the same goods? Like the process of monitoring, controlling and conserving energy. Process of monitoring and controlling. So monitoring should be there. So you need to monitor which type of motor is running. So whether the motor is running, whether this motor is running at low power factor. So if the motor is running at low power factor, you need to improve that power factor of the motor by providing a adequate capacitor. So like that, once the power factor of the motor is improved, the motor will consume less amount of current and thus conserving the energy. And that is monitoring and controlling. So you need to control the power factor. And like that, if you monitor and control, you can conserve the energy. So monitoring, controlling and conserving the energy in a building or an organization with a goal to produce goods and provide service with the least cost and least environmental effect. So this we call as energy management. So in define energy management, exam ella thavana choikkunnanu. So don't miss to write this definition. This definition is very important. So write down this definition and I will be telling you, it is very very important. Okay, next one, the one more definition is there, the definition of energy management. So the judicious and effective use of energy to maximize profits and enhance competitive positions. So like this also you can define judicious and effective use of energy to maximize profits and enhance competitive position. ഇതിനെക്കാട്ടി നല്ലത് ഈ ഒരു ഡെഫിനിഷൻ അത് എഴുതുന്നതാണ്. Okay, so next one, now we see about the principles of energy management. So how you can what are the different principles of energy management? Energy management നാഴികക്കല്ലുകൾ, principles. So എന്തൊക്കെയാണ്? So identifying and tracking of energy pattern. Identifying and tracking the energy pattern. So how you get in these six? See, these six principles are not there. There are lots of principles. The principle is being derived like this. So ഈ ടേബിളിൽ നിന്നാണ് ആ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നത്. 16 പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽസ് ഉണ്ട്. മൊത്തം പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽസ് 16 ഉണ്ട്. സോ അതിൽ നിന്ന് ചില പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽസ് മാത്രമേ ഇവിടെ ഞാൻ കാണിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളൂ. സോ അത് നമുക്ക് എന്താണ് ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആയിട്ട് നോക്കാം. സോ നൗ ദിസ് ഈസ് റിവ്യൂ ഓഫ് ഹിസ്റ്റോറിക്കൽ ഡാറ്റ. സോ റിവ്യൂ ഓഫ് ഹിസ്റ്റോറിക്കൽ ഡാറ്റ, അതിൻ്റെ കോസ്റ്റ് റിലേറ്റീവ്ലി കുറവാണ്. കാരണം വെച്ചാൽ 5 to 6, so say 5 to 6 years energy bill you can analyze and you can see. So where in which month the more amount of energy is being consumed. So the relative complexity is very low. So you need just to review your previous electricity bills. And relative benefit is typically 5 to 10%. Okay, like that energy audits. Energy audit, the relative cost is very low. That is, energy audit means review, that is not detailed audit, it is only preliminary audit. Okay, it is low and it is of 1 year. Relative time to implement, relative complexity is very low and relative benefit is 5 to 10%. So here you can see the operation and maintenance, that is housekeeping, and next comes the analysis of energy use, And next comes the economic evaluation, that is cost benefit, cost, rate of return, life cycle costing, etc. So അതായത് അതിൻ്റെ എക്കണോമിക് ഇവാലുവേഷൻ. So if you are taking 2 to 3 motors, and so how this motor, so after operating this motor, how much paper you can print. So after operating this paper number 2, motor number 2, how much paper you can print in your newsprint, paper printing industry. Like that, you can make the economic evaluations. Sixth one, more efficient equipment. So which equipment is more efficient, which equipment will be printing more paper, so that motor is more efficient. So like that, for that more efficient motor you can retain, and the very low efficient motor you can replace. Okay, so the more efficient process, so by using which type of process, so that is cooling process. So if the heat loss is there, so if the heat is there, so how can you reduce the heat in a motor, by which type of process you can reduce the heat in a motor. So either by inserting a fan, or by going for hydrogen type of cooling. So which type of process, that is thermodynamic process. So which type of process are you implementing to improve the motor, improving the motor efficiency. So that one is moderate to high return is there, and it is having 10 to 30%. You can see more efficient equipment, it is 10 to 30%, and more efficient process, it is also having 10 to 30%. And energy containment, that is heat recovery and waste reduction, so that is also 10 to 50%. And next comes your material economy, and 10th one, substitute material, 11th material quality, and 12th aggregation of energy use, 13th one, cascade of energy use, 14th alternative energy sources, 15 energy conversion, and 16 energy storage. So now we just see in one by one in detail. So first one, the review of historical data. The first principle is to review the historical energy use. It helps establish typical seasonal, monthly, and even daily energy use pattern, and facilitate identification of anomalies such as unexpected spikes, dips in usage, energy use during non-business period, or even gradual energy increase over the time that may signal degradation of equipment. അതായത് ഏത് ടൈപ്പ് so that you will need to see that in which time the energy is being used. If the energy is used in the peak time, then you should to transfer it to the off peak times. So and also you will need to see that whether the energy is being used in non-business period, that is say morning 10 to evening 8 hours, evening 8. So in that non-business, after that non-business period, still the particular motor or still the lights and fans are being switched on, so that you need to give an instruction to switch off that lights and fan and motors automatically. So these things you can get by reviewing the historical data. And also, for example, a plant may experience surge of manufacturing during certain season, yet maintain space conditioning all year round. Often, why do we do this? The answer is that is the way we always done it. So that we need to do it from the starting of historical data, review of historical data. So without reviewing the historical data, you cannot say that you have conserved the energy. Say നേരത്തെ ഞാൻ ഒരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു. So for example, one house, if it is consuming 400 units and you have paid a bill of 900 rupees, and now you have conserved that much of energy, that is you are paying 600 rupees and you have consuming only 300 units, and you are conserved 100 units, that is this 100 units conserved you will be getting only after comparing to the historical data. So that after that historical data, reviewing that historical data, now you can able to see that so where you have to replace. So you have to replace the incandescent lamp by LED lamps, so you have to replace the motor by BLDC motors, like that. Okay, that review should be done. Next one, energy audits. So the energy audit is an process where you can use some there are two types of energy audit. One is preliminary energy audit and another is detailed energy audit. Preliminary energy audit is a walkthrough energy audit where in the case of an industry, a particular energy manager, a particular person termed as energy manager, will walk through an institute and he will see what are the problems. So you will just go and inspect the motor, and from that and you will be just going to see that the nameplate of the motor. From that nameplate of the motor you can see that he can able to see that the motor is working from past 15 years. So from that he can able to judge that the efficiency of the motor may be in a position of degrading. So that we need to either you need to maintain the motor seasonally, or you have to replace this motor with more efficient motors, or by going through walkthrough the industry, you can able to see that more amount of incandescent lights and more amount of tube lights are there. So the tube lights can be replaced by T5 light, T5 fluorescent lamp, or sodium vapor lamp may be there, so that should be replaced by LED lamps. Okay, and even incandescent lamp can be replaced by LED lamps, and the fan should be replaced by BLDC. So this type of thing you will be getting through the walkthrough energy audit, that is preliminary energy audit. So in that preliminary energy audit, the inspection, survey and analysis of energy flows for energy conservation in a building, process or system to reduce the amount of energy input into the system without negatively affecting the outputs. Energy audit is an activity that serves the purpose of assessing energy use pattern of a factory or energy consuming equipment and identifying the energy saving opportunities. So first is you are able to assess the energy use pattern. So how the energy is being used, so where the energy is mainly used. So sometimes the energy will be mainly used in the motors, that is series motors or shunt motors, which are all you are applying in industries. There you need to see that, so when to turn on and turn off these motors. So you should have to turn on only when the particular task of the motor is there, and you should have to turn off when the task is completed. So this you can make by PLC, that is programmable logic control. By that automation and all, you can conserve more amount of energy. In commercial, industrial and real estate, the energy audit is the first step in identifying opportunities to reduce the energy expense and carbon footprints. The next one, operation and maintenance. So these are all the principles. First is the historical data review, second is the energy audit, and third one is operation and maintenance. The operation and maintenance, improving the operation and maintenance in the plant will generally save energy. Well lubricated equipments has reduced frictional loss. Clean light fixture transmits more light. Changing filters reduce pressure drops. Repairing steam leaks prevents waste of high quantity of energy. Operation and maintenance practices are applicable to all types of end users. അതായത് മോട്ടോർസ് സ്റ്റീം പൈപ്പിൽ ലീക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കൂടുതൽ എനർജി കൺസർവ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. പിന്നെ ക്ലീൻ ലൈറ്റ്, അതായത് ഒരു ഫ്ലൂറസൻ ഒരു ഇൻകാൻസൻ ലൈറ്റ് തന്നെ ആണെങ്കിലും തന്നെ അത് അതിൻ്റെ സർഫേസ് ക്ലീൻ ആക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്താവും, അതിൻ്റെ മെയിൻ്റെനൻസ് ഫാക്ടർ ഡിക്രീസ് ചെയ്യും. അതായത് ലൈറ്റ് ലോസ് ഫാക്ടർ എന്ത് ചെയ്തു, അത് ഡിക്രീസ് ചെയ്യും. ലൈറ്റ് ലോസ് ഫാക്ടർ ഡിക്രീസ് ചെയ്യും. ലൈറ്റ് ലോസ് ഫാക്ടർ ഡിക്രീസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ കോഎഫിഷ്യൻ്റ് ഓഫ് യൂട്ടിലൈസേഷനും അത് ഇൻക്രീസ് ആവും. മാക്സിമം നമുക്ക് യൂട്ടിലൈസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ആ ലൈറ്റ് എനർജി മാക്സിമം അതിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ ഡസ്റ്റും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ യൂട്ടിലൈസേഷൻ ഫാക്ടർ ഡിക്രീസ് ആവും. സോ അങ്ങനെ അതായത് ആ ഒരു ക്ലീൻ ലൈറ്റ് ഫിക്സേച്ചർ ട്രാൻസ്മിറ്റ് മോർ ലൈറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് യു നോ. So that we need to regularly clean that light fixtures. So like that in an motor, so the motor should be well lubricated and has reduced frictional loss. So this is what about operation and maintenance. Second, fourth one is analysis. Analysis goes in hand with energy audit to determine how efficient the equipment is. So we need to determine how efficient the energy equipment is. That is for an equipment or for a motor is we need to, if you want to determine how efficient a particular motor is, then you need to go for detailed analysis. So what is analysis? Analysis is nothing but judging for a particular input what type of output you are getting. So input output. So for that is for particular input what type of output you are getting. So that is for an input for an motor which is consuming 5 kilowatt hour. So how much output that motor will be delivering. So that type of analysis we call as this type of analysis is being done. Analysis goes hand in hand with the energy audit to determine how efficient the equipment is. So what do you mean by efficiency? Efficiency is the ratio of output by the input. So in order to determine the efficiency, so the ratio of output by input should be there, so that it should be 100%. Is to establish what happens if the parameters changes or reduce the flow by 50%, or to stimulate operation or computer models of building a process energy use. So that by getting a particular input and output, so you can simulate and you can able to judge so how to increase the output for a lesser input. So the efficiency is equal to output by input. So with lesser input, so how can you increase the output? So that analysis is being done, and so that it should be the efficiency can be improved. Okay. Next one, economic evaluation. So economic evaluation is very important. Why? Because whatever the energy conserving you are doing, it is on the basis of giving a particular firm or institution the economic benefit. So that particular firm or institution will see that this energy manager is being appointed and he will be benefiting the organization this much of rupees in the end of this month. So that is economic evaluation is an essential tool of energy management. New equipment process or options must be studied to determine cost and returns. The analysis must include operating cost, that is, and next one, investment tax credits, tax, depreciation, cost of capital for realistic picture, particularly when considering escalation of energy prices. That is, the economic evaluation should be included that say the energy manager is telling to replace all the incandescent lamp with LED lamp, all the motors with BLDC motors. So for the particular investment cost, it comes around 5 lakhs. So after how many so after how many years I will be getting the rate of returns. So for example, I have invested 5 lakhs and I have changed all the I have done all thing that the energy manager is done, energy management is told, and also the energy management told me that if you are invested 5 lakhs now, you will be getting the same amount after 3 years. So that after 3 years my entire amount will be payback, and after the 3 years so the remaining years then I will be getting the profits. So this is what we call as the economic evaluation. And also one more thing is there, this is what the energy management told it. This is what the concerning to the concern to the investment. And one more energy economic evaluation is there. It is for example, this for example, it can be an this type of economic evaluation can be very instantaneous. It can be reflected in the electricity bill. For example, in a house that I told you, that type of economic evaluation will be directly reflected in the house. So some economic is something which if you have invested more bulk money, then that requires more time. If you have invested very lesser money, that will be reflected very early. Okay. Then more efficient equipment. So which type of equipment is more efficient? More efficient equipment can often be substituted to fulfill the same function, that is LED or high output T5 fluorescent lamps rather than T12 or even T8 fluorescent lamp for area lighting. So that is T5 fluorescent lamp is somewhat very lesser in size, that is 5 by 8 inch. So and T8 fluorescent lamp, why it is T8? It is 8 by 8, that is 1 inch lamp. 8 by 8 1 inch lamp, and it is 5 by 8 inch lamp. So that is, it is very lesser in size, and it will be consuming very lesser power compared to T8 lamps, fluorescent lamps. Most type of industrial and commercial and residential equipments are now rated or labeled in terms of the efficiency. There are very wide variations among different manufacturers depending upon the size, quality and initial cost, but there are many online resources for comparing the different technologies. So we need to replace by incandescent by the LED and the normal induction motor fan by BLDC fan. So these are all the more efficient equipments. So next comes your energy containment. So this energy containment and the remaining things we study in the next class. Okay.